prime time on the top game, it's a fine line. Man of the match, that's Daveye, he's the main guy, keep a close eye. Make sure you don't make no wrong play, cause I'm with Jose and Andre. When Cyrus comes to walk in, you better know that you are watching Premier League. Daveye, tell what time we on. Prime time. Let me hear you say Premier League. Daveye, tell what time we on. Prime time.
Hello and welcome to Premier League Primetime. Welcome back from the live stream that from before. Before you start, if I can, big up Joe and Jose every single time for joining me and watching that performance. To which, for those who watched the game, for those who didn't, now you know. Manchester United 2, Nottingham Forest 3, and I mean, if you heard me in the match, for those who are watching, just like I said then, I'm just so disappointed. I'm fuming with how he lost, but there's just an even greater sense of disappointment because, one guy said when this new manager came in, I don't want to see him abandon his principles. I want to see signs and elements that he's showing us that the way he's playing at Sporting, these are the principles that he's going to implement here. And it's definitely shown, especially in these last two matches, that it's not going to be immediate. And he's been given a very, very, very harsh reality check by both Arsenal and Nottingham Forest, and which this Forest side was there for the taking. They had lost, I think, the last two games. This is not a side. This is not the uniform Nottingham Forest side anymore. They were there for the taking. But bozo moments constantly come back to haunt and bite us in the arse every single fucking time. I'm so tired of it. And yes, there are things to question with Amorim as well. The substitutions with Malson Xerxes brought on earlier. I understand the Lenny Euro substitution. We want to watch over his fitness and keep track of that. I understand that. But why wasn't Lenny Euro brought on? I mean, not Lenny Euro. Why wasn't Jay-Z brought on around the same time as Rashford was? Why? Just questions to have. This is not Amorim now or any of that. It's normal and natural, and there's nothing wrong with questioning a manager's decisions when they don't seem right or they don't seem totally coherent amongst everybody. I think that's a totally reasonable thing to think. But then again, he's only been here around 4-ish weeks, right? So, this manager, like I said, against Arsenal, he's still learning, and he's probably just about now starting to come to terms with some of the things that that we've seen, or a good amount of this fan base has seen in these Man United players, and he's just learning and realizing a lot of that now. Honestly, just so disappointed. Really, really, really disappointed. The scoreline doesn't reflect the actual match. Once again, set pieces, struggled on set pieces again. Within the first 5 minutes, how the fuck is Murillo up against in a matchup against Lissandro Martinez and Delict has to slide over late to try and cover? Why? Again, just things that need to be looked at and done again. Gibbs White, how are we giving a player of this quality time to just freely cross it into the box for Chris Wood? Why? Why is Dalot just backing off? I don't know. But the common denominator, not good enough. Simply not good enough today. And that second goal, Onana. Look, things happen as a goalkeeper. Nobody should get should be too harsh or critical of Onana today. He's been one of our best players this season, and one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and I will stand by that. You can clip it, do whatever. So far this season, he's been one of the best goalkeepers in the league this season. But look, with the goal, you have to look at Onana. He was wrong-footed today. He got beaten again by Morgan Ipswich. Scores against us yet again. And for the times where I praise this player, this is why. Yes, he popped up with the goal. However, there are other players that will, pop up with a goal and not be influential in the match in either any way, shape, or form, or in any positive way at all. Or just won't be good enough, and players like that will get protected all the time. But the G&A merchants, when they're at it again, they get protected all the time, regardless if they have a poor overall performance or not. And I know I'll see it again today. At some point. I know again at some point I'll see Kobe Mano being blamed today, but not looking at the overall context. How he was, again, isolated in the midfield, left to die by himself because we all know Ugarte's deficiencies, and that, didn't help Kobe Mano at all. That midfield pairing didn't work under Ten Hag, and it didn't work today. Different system, more structured system, more likable or understanding identity of a way to play, and again, not good enough. Absolutely just anonymous, poor. But I felt sorry for him, really did. But a lot of these players, I'm telling you now, past the season, some of these lot will not survive. Whether it's them being stripped of their what was previously, a starting position, will either be stripped to the bench, or the future will not be at this club. I'm telling you. Just seeing how Bruno Fernandes was taken off by this manager, maybe a little later than he should have, right? The fact how he took him off, that would have never happened under the old manager, and didn't happen under Rude. But guess what? Under this manager, he's done it, and he's shown he's not afraid to take off the captain. He's not afraid to make, ballsy decisions. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the arse in the future. But for what I've seen right now, he's not afraid. He can be ruthless when he needs to be. And he's shown it, maybe in the wrong sense, but dropping Ahmad and Xerxes in the Arsenal game, I didn't think was warranted. Despite Xerxes scoring 2 goals, and even in that 4-0 performance against Everton, guess what? The manager still said, no, not good enough. There are things that we still need to work on, and that are poor. And guess what? He was right. He's right. Rather than coming out with some bullshit narrative or excuses. But today, I understand Amorim experimenting with the players that he's got, still trying to see if there's any possible places or things he could try to see if he can accommodate players into his system, at least just for the rest of the season, right? And a lot of them, yet again, show their true colors. But it's not the same old players get the manager sack narrative. These are the players that the former manager brought in, and now he's seeing, who could be at risk of either losing his starting position, just being a squad player, because there are some that are there that can be squad players I'm fine with. And then there are others which flat out are just not good enough and need to go and need to be shifted on. And this is an agenda. It's from what I see, and also tactically. But I'm just so disappointed. I really am. And like the Arsenal game, the way we conceded the goals, again, it's not structural issues. It's not system deficiencies. It's just purely on player bozo moments. That's it. When you break down the 3 goals. But then again, Nottingham Forest should have had 4, 5, 6 for the amount of set pieces that they had. We are struggling again on set pieces. I'm hoping that what happened against Arsenal doesn't now become like a new constant, and then just, we just see this time and time again where we struggle on set pieces. I hope not. Because we saw this under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before, where we didn't have a clue about how to defend or to attack set pieces. And we were struggling then. Struggling under the former manager. And we're seeing in these 2 games, it's still an issue now. So, and I'd assume and hope that Amorim will, before the Europa League game midweek, that he will work on these things. I hope he does. He needs to, because what I've seen, especially from today, is absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking from some of these players. But seeking the players to give them a more detailed look in, we're going to go into the player rating. Starting off in goal, Andre Onana, at fault for the goal. I initially thought it took a deflection, but it didn't. But he's at fault for that goal. I'm sorry. Not good enough whatsoever. He needs to do better, a lot better than that. I'm just so disappointed. Really, really disappointed. Not with him in particular, but disappointed that the goal he got wrong-footed for. But But other than that, he didn't have a whole lot to do. But that goal, I'm sorry, but you have to be marked down for that. I'll give him a 4. But apart from that, there's not really a whole lot to say on Onana other than that. Into the back, he's starting out with Lenny Euro, and he was just having an absolute nightmare today. Absolute nightmare. Callum Hudson-Odoi today. Shout out Matisse, the 1v1 demon. That's he nicknamed Hudson-Odoi, and who was very, very good today. Just gave Lenny Euro the nightmare of his life. He was really struggling. But again, it'll take him a bit of time to find his feet in the Premier League. It was his first ever start. Didn't even play a full match. So, one's definitely too soon. He's not fully fit. Which, if that's the case, then that's why. But I still think there's a generational talent in there. That's a kid to give a lot of time, support, and care for. But yeah, Lenny Orr wasn't great today. Really not that great. Didn't notice him too much throughout the match, but I'll give him a 5. Into the centre back partnership, or not the partnership, but the other two, Matthias Stilic, I thought was absolutely crap today. He was crap from what I've seen in games come past. Wasn't great against Arsenal. There were just times where he just had the ball and he would just straight up give the ball away, play it to a Nottingham Forest player. Especially after that third goal. The goal's replaying, and then when the broadcast comes back to record the match, I'm seeing him just give the ball away, and they're immediately in again. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? Delict was all over the place. He was not great today. Although I don't necessarily blame him for any of the, goals individually. Maybe the third goal could have done a bit better. But none of the goals too much for his fault, you'd have to say. But just really underwhelming from Delict today, from what you'd expect from him. And that's why I'm going to give him a 4. Lisandro Martinez. Listen, Lisandro, I rate you very highly. However, in this back 3 system, I don't know if I see you surviving as one of the wide centre backs. I don't know, because what have I said about Lisandro time and time again? He's great on the ball. However, defending in wide areas against wingers with pace is going to be a difficult task for him, especially when Alanga come on. He was very, very obvious he was going to have a difficult time with it. And it just wasn't. This match definitely was not made for him. Seeing him trying to win headers against Chris Wood. How the fuck was he matched up with Murillo for that first goal? Or was it Milankovic or Murillo? I don't know. But with one of them. But it was, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. But yeah, Lisandro, past the season, I don't know if you're going to keep your starting place or not. That's obviously up to Amorim, but yeah, that was just, I don't know what on earth that was that, honestly. Honestly, and especially for that third goal, you're just sitting, I mean, one could assume it's going out, but you're just sat on the line, and if that ball's getting anywhere near the line, essentially as a centre back, you should be thinking, take no risks and clear the ball away. Why are you just literally just sitting there, just watching the ball cross the line without even trying to move to it, get a body on that ball and just clearing it away? Why? Because that's why we conceded the third goal. I mean, a part of it was not Dallo not doing well enough to put any sort of pressure on Gibbs White, putting that cross in the box. Lenny Euro getting out-jumped by Chris Wood, and then Lisandro and Delict just ball watching. Honestly, that was just absolutely crap. No better than Delict today. 4, not good enough. Into the midfield partnership, Mamo Ugarte. I've said it from time to time. 50 million for a defensive midfielder who can be who's great defensively, but on the ball, he is suspect. How many times did this guy fucking give the ball away over and over and over? And at times just being anonymous. And that, of course, is going to impact poor Kobe Mano, who isn't great either. But that's going to impact him as well. Which is why I said Kobe Mano maybe is better suited further forward because Kobe is not a fucking defensive midfielder. He's not a box-to-box player. He's not a player that has got the engine and has got the legs to do the running. That's something Ugarte can do. But you just give him the ball away time and time again. He's not a first-phase player. He's not, and it's so obvious he isn't. Manuel Ugarte turned back into Manuel Gallagher. 50 million, remember we spent on this player, but, signing him for me, definitely in the summer, gave me thoughts that maybe we were looking at Amorim, which was probably the reason why we signed him in the first place. But he's an Amorim player. We'll see what happens, but Ugarte, you garbage today, man. You Gallagher, absolutely awful today. So poor. I'm giving him a 3 today. He was dreadful. He was getting outran, outthought. Putting a few good tackles at times, but really, come on, man. The overall performance was not great. Really, I'm giving him a 3. Kobe Mino today. For me, just as poor, but he done some good things going forward as well when he was given the license to go forward, which is why I'll push Kobe Mino up to a 4 or 5. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him a 5. Not just because he's academy born and bred in English. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because this is someone who's been thrown in to this team. He still has a lot to learn himself. We as a fan base often forget a lot. We often forget that Kobe is still a kid and he still has a lot to learn. And again, just not good enough. Just not good enough today, man. But I feel for Kobe on this one because positionally he was left to die so many times. But yeah, I'll give Kobe a 4, 4 or 5, either one of those. Into the wing backs, Amad Diallo. Done what he could going forward. Started this time, played a full 90. Definitely wasn't his best game. There are times where I saw him shoot the ball, and I thought, is this Amad? Because usually he's putting these shots away, but this didn't look like it was amounting to anything. But again, this is not, this is a player that we need to build a future around. This is someone that we need to nurture carefully. This is a very, very special talent, a very special player. We need to be so careful with this kid. Honestly, just he can play this wing back role so well. But I'm hoping this is maybe at the very most like a 1 season sort of experiment, and we push him into the number 10 role, into those inverted 10s. I want to see him play there. I really do. And I think he'd thrive if you just give him the chance to play there. But it's just disappointing, man. But Ahmad set up the goal for Bruno as well. Very done very well with that, putting some decent set pieces where Bruno just didn't. Once again, the players that I defend, it's those players, most of them, who've done well. And this new system is showing and exposing the players who weren't good enough before under the prior manager. A lot of them who are being defended all the time, and they're being exposed now. Some people are seeing it, which is a good thing. Better late than never. But just my personal opinion. But getting back to Ahmad, was a positive light for a good amount. I'll give him a 7. On to the left-hand side, Diogo Dalot is one of the better players today, but what the fuck was he doing for that goal? Apart from that, putting some good crosses into the box, but again, just not good enough, man. And you're one of the more experienced players on the pitch. I know you're 24, 25, relatively young, but guess what? Like I say about Saka all the time, you may be young biologically. You're not young in footballing. You're not young in footballing age. You have, since 2018, you've had how many years of active first team football in this Man United side, and don't forget about AC Milan as well, that loan spell. So, it's poor, man. It's poor from what I expect of someone of like Diogo Dalot. So, I have to give him a 5, man. I have to. Into the inverted 10s, into Bruno Fernandes. Back to hoofball again. What have I told you about this guy? It's the captain of the football club. And our main sort of talisman and captain can't even put good set pieces into the box. To be fair, the free kick was unlucky. Took his goal well today. But apart from that, what else did he do? What else did he offer? Fuck all. Didn't offer anything. And I'm tired of it. And the system is also exposing him as well. He's exposing him as well. Even Jose said it as well. Yeah, he got the goal, which was important. But apart from that, didn't do a whole lot that impressed. He was rubbish shit. Captain 300 grand a week. Sorry, not good enough today. 2, from what I expect of him. And I've said it a million times. As a captain of Man United, I look at you differently and have different expectations of you than everyone else. Because that armband is a very special armband. It's not like being captain of any club is an honor or a privilege. But having the Man United captain's armband is a very, very, very different sort of feeling. It is. It's a different responsibility. When I look at the captain of the football club, I look at you as the person to always get us out of trouble, to be the one to calm everyone's heads, to not be erratic, to not lose your head, to lead by example consistently, whether we're down in the dumps or whether we're on top, doesn't matter. To always be, example you can look at and say, you know what, it's not going well sometimes, it's not going well today, but you know what, he showed why he's our leader. What the fuck was that today from Bruno? Didn't lead anything, didn't lead shit. Again, so disappointing, man. And I'm honestly like Bruno and Rashford thing. I think when they go, I think the manager will be able to have a more free role in implementing his system. But until those two go, I think those two are always gonna hinder the side to a certain extent for the system and the way the manager plays. But Bruno Fernandes too. I'm tired of it. But yeah, that's about it. Took the unlucky with the free kick. The goal was taken well. Maybe done a few things here and there, but apart from that, wasn't his worst performance, but nowhere near his best. Poor again. Garnacho 0, 0, 0, 0. Shit again. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired of Garnacho. I honestly am. How many times have I said he's not good enough to play? He's not good enough to play week in and week out. How many times have I said it? How many times? Jose said it as well. Garnacho's form is very concerning. I don't want to see him start. I don't want to see him start the next game. Maybe he needs some time on the bench. Those are Jose's words. That's what Jose had mentioned. But when I've been saying it for gosh knows how long, I'm toxic and negative and all that. He's not fit to play this inverted 10. And if anyone gives him the quote-unquote assist for the Højlund goal, don't bother. Don't even bother. Because the way he hit the ball, he was trying to lob it over the goalkeeper, and he failed, and it fell to Højlund, who had made a good run and was in the right place at the right time. That's why we scored. Not a Garnacho assist. Done nothing. Nothing again. Taken off after 60 minutes. Shouldn't have started, but again, Amorim is still probably taking the time to learn this and figure this out. Hopefully happens sooner rather than later. And he's trying to just see where maybe he could, use Garnacho, if at all. So I'm not going to blame the manager too much here. But if this is something that I continue to see well on past this season, I'm going to, it's not Amorim out, but I'm going to start, mentally start asking questions. Because this is something to be concerned about. It really is. Every time Garnacho plays, I want him to play well. It's not like I don't want the player to play well. I want him to do well. But the performances are just poor. They're not good enough. Garnacho, 0. I'm sorry. Dreadful again. Højlund up front, again, probably one of his better performances this season. I did see some areas of improvement. Less wrestling with the centre backs. Did see that. The runs looked a little more improved. But the touch, again, so inconsistent. At least there were some good phases, some good moments, not just one or two. But apart from that, again, underwhelming. When you're the Man United number 9, I expect a lot more of you than the number 9 of another Premier League club, or even just different expectations from the Man United number 9 to just clubs across the world. traditionally, the Man United number 9, I'd have expectations similar to, to those who would have, expectations of the Man City number 9, the Liverpool number 9, the Barcelona number 9, the Real Madrid number 9, the Bayern Munich number 9. Clubs like that. Because by stature, a name, by recognition, that's the company that Man United belongs in. Not by performances on the pitch, not by, what we won in the last 10 years. No. But when you think of, the most worldly and historically well-known and renowned clubs, deep-rooted history, that's where Man United belongs. And that's the expectations that I have of the Man United number 9. And the Man United number 9 or 9s are doing nowhere near good enough. But it was a bit better from Højlund today, but still not consistent enough. Budu's probably the best of the front three, to be fair, which is why I'll give him a 4. Onto the bench, Marcus Rashford came on at around 60 minutes. Wasn't any real impact. So the 350 grand a week player I'm expecting should have an impact on a game. The Man United number 10 didn't have anything for. Harry Maguire, Nusra Mazraoui came on. Standard 5s. Mason Mount, Joshua Zirkzee. Standard 5s. Ruben Amorim, I'm giving a 5. Team selection today. Again, there are parts I didn't agree with and didn't like. But however, when taking into context, you have to realize that this manager is going to need a bit of time to really and truly see and figure out and suss out who can hack it and who can't. But just really disappointed for today. This Man United side needs to fix the fuck up. It does. If we want to salvage anything this season, or is it, have we just already thrown away the season? Like, is that it? Have we just deemed the season dead and over? Is that it? Because from what I see, at this point, by then, if we're still in this area of the table by January, I think mentally, you kind of have to say focus on the cup competitions in the Europa League to see if you can salvage something, because we're not getting anything in the league. Not getting anything, and this is a harsh reality check of where we are. Amorim has a lot of work to do. I still as of right now fully believe and trust in Amorim, because he's shown he hasn't abandoned his principles or philosophy or made some bullshit excuses or any stupid comments, before or after games in the conferences to the media. So, and I'm seeing him actively trying to implement his identity, his way. I see him doing it. So, and it's something that I can get behind. So, I believe and I trust in Amorim that he will make the right decisions. And that, post the summer, we'll see whether he gets the players to, implement and add into those positions or not. But, this is not something I'm panicking over, but this is something to be somewhat concerned of. And you did say, we're going to need to suffer to get better. Which he's right. Things are going to get worse before they get better. They are. Again, it's just a cold, harsh fact of it. But there you have it. There's been my post-match player ratings. Man United 2, Nottingham Forest 3. And yeah, this team needs to fix the fuck up for the Europa League. And I think the Manchester derby is coming up. I do not want to be played off the park by this, what's been a dog shit Man City side for most of the season. So there you have it. This has been your host, Daveye. Hope you enjoyed this one. We're out. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.